Even though flu cases are very low this season, it's still important to take steps to recover from other viral infections. Holistic pharmacist Sherry Torkos joins us with ways to navigate the highs and lows of these viruses. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year and good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thankfully, of course, with all the COVID protocols, it's actually worked out in terms of keeping the flu numbers low,
That's
thankfully.
right. If there's a positive side, yes,
Yeah.
flu is low, but I think everyone is wondering, what can I do? How can I be prepared? How can I support my immune system? And if I do get sick, whether it's a cold or coronavirus, there are certain things we can do at home to take better care of ourselves.
Right. Off the top, what's the best way to check a temperature?
Okay, well, we don't do the back of the hand. That's really not a good gauge, of course. Might be an early indicator that somebody feels warm, but having a good ear thermometer on hand. I mean, I like the ear thermometer. There's digital oral thermometers, rectal thermometers. Most kids don't like the rectal thermometers,
Oh,
and the
really?
oral thermometers, the oral ones are really hard to use depending on the age of the child because they won't hold it under their tongue long enough. So with the ear thermometer, it's three simple steps. Insert it into the ear, take your reading. We use the Braun Thermoscan 7 because it has age precision technology. So it really takes the guesswork out of taking a temperature. You just input the age range of your child, put it in the ear, push the button, and you get the reading in a few seconds. And it tells you green is the indicator for it's okay, yellow is elevated, red is high.
Okay, so we got a fever in the household. What's the best way of managing it?
Yeah, so cool compresses on the forehead. Medication is not always necessary. And if you are using medication, you want to check to make sure the dosage is appropriate for your child. Hydration is key. And one of the greatest risks when there is a fever is dehydration, which can become a medical emergency. So the right fluids, so water is great, but also getting electrolytes. So the Hydra Plus that you see there has a higher amount of electrolytes than, say, a sports beverage. It is very low in sugar and it's made with natural fruit juice. So you don't get the artificial chemicals and dyes and things that you don't want to put in your body, but you're getting the good stuff that you do want in your body.
And
And
where do we
rest,
find that?
dress, and layers. You can find that in pharmacies across Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. So it tastes good. They actually make a powder packet too that once things open up and we can travel again, that's great to bring with you if you're going to sunny destinations because it's a powder packet. You add water and say you get dehydrated playing beach sports and you want a good rehydration solution, that's handy.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about how humidity affects viruses.
Yeah, so viruses thrive in conditions of low humidity. And when we're running our furnaces more during these colder times, the indoor air gets really dry. You'll find your eyes are dry, your mouth, your skin. So if you run a vaporizer, humidifier, especially in your bedroom at night, it's going to help to improve the moisture levels, make it easier to breathe. You'll also find you wake up in the morning, your eyes aren't as dry. But if you have congestion or cough, running a humidifier will really help to improve those symptoms. And you can put a little vapor pad into the side compartment. That's the Vicks humidifier that I have here in my house. And I like the vapor pads because they add eucalyptus to the air, which is invigorating and it provides that soothing relief from some of the symptoms.
Okay. And before we go, can you talk to us just about general immune support?
Yeah, so there are some things that we can do to support our immune system. And from a natural products perspective, there are some herbs that have been studied and have Health Canada approval for helping to support the immune system. So two that I recommend would be Sambucol, which is the black elderberry. That's antioxidant, antiviral, can be taken by two and above. It's in a liquid and it helps treat the symptoms as well, the cough, congestion, aches, and pains. And also echinoforce, which is a specific type of echinacea. It's made from fresh organic echinacea, been the subject of many clinical studies. It is antiviral as well, and there's new published research, and it's in vitro study showing it does have some activity against coronavirus as well. It's preliminary, so we can't say that this is a protective at this point, but it is encouraging some of this preliminary research. But that's safe for two and above as well. And it can be taken for prevention or treatment. And then the third thing that I would recommend to have on hand, and this is in your kitchen pantry maybe already, is some good honey. Honey is wonderful for soothing a sore throat, helping with a dry hacking cough. And studies show that it is actually comparable to some of the over-the-counter drugs that we use for cough, such as dextromethorphan.
Okay, good to know, and more great tips. So we'll link up your website at chch.com, and good vitamin D source suggestion there
Vitamin
as
D.
well. Yeah, because we're
Yeah,
not getting
vitamin
it from.
D.
Yeah.
We don't. It's cold outside. We're covering up. And vitamin D, it turns out there are a number of studies coming out that have made a correlation between vitamin D deficiency and both the increased risk of infections and worse outcomes if you do get an infection. This vitamin is very affordable. It's very easy to take, and it's something that we should all consider because most Canadians are actually deficient in vitamin
Yeah.
D.